Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk from the left side of the Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic with his yet again miserable Mondays, which we don't do anymore, so we'll have to change the mug. Cup of
I have
tea.
I have my fruity mug today.
Fruit, you have indeed.
I
You're
do.
you're the
It's
you're the
fruity.
epitome of healthy eating,
It's
right there.
it's fruity. It's got
Five
a
a day.
it's got a bunch of sugared creamer in it too.
Definitely healthy eating.
You know I'm low on coffee cups. I had to start the dishwasher this morning because went to my coffee cup stash and there were at least a dozen of them in the dishwasher not done yet.
Well, keep an eye on the post over the next 6 weeks because you never know what might arrive, mate.
Oh
You
man,
never know what I've been doing.
never know what Pilgrim's been up to.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Wayne's in the house. Yes, turn back your clocks, my friends. It is sunny outside right now, which has not been true for the last few months at this time in the morning.
No.
Wayne's in the house, as I said. Stickler Bitwise is here as well. We got Metal Over Madness. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. So, what's going on, Pilgrim? We did not have a coffee talk last week.
We didn't. No,
No, no.
we had a chill out, didn't we?
Yeah, geez, how did everyone survive it?
I don't know. I think there was a number of people who succumbed to various bottles of whiskey just to get through the morning.
Yeah, probably
Yeah, before the chores.
slept all through last week just trying to get here.
Yeah, that's the one. Now they're all in. Look, slept in. Look, Cliffy slept in.
Cliffy's like, "Oh, this is more like it, man. Now it's not just all you old people out here." So yeah, it was a good weekend last weekend with the reunion. Had a good time.
Good.
Talked to a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time, so very cool. Unfortunately, next week, my friends, we will also not have a coffee talk next week. I know, but I will be down at the college at the university my daughter goes to
Yeah.
for the sorority parents weekend or whatever goes on with that.
Don't you just love that sort of stuff? When I used to, here's a tangent for you. When I used to go to the my children's annual, go to see meet the teachers, parent teachers meeting before they went to university and all the rest of it. So like at the sort of lower schools, they make you go into a classroom. You form tutor, your son's or your daughter's form tutor's teacher, and you go into the classroom. She sat at her desk, or he, on a chair and a desk, obviously, and then you've got to sit on the children's chair, which is significantly lower than the teacher.
Yeah,
Sit there like that, looking up at her like you were back in school. Yes,
yeah.
miss.
And then you got
I
to take a
refuse to
spelling
sit.
test.
Yeah, I refused to sit. I used to stand up like that, arms folded, completely negative. What have you got to say?
Yeah, the defensive stance. That's what that means when you fold your arms.
Yeah, you're like that. What?
It means you're defensive. Yeah, that's that.
Absolutely. Not open.
You're not open to anything. You're just
No.
defensive. Speaking of
Well, it
defensive,
worked out well, Guido, because next weekend,
ah,
as we were just saying, it's for us, it's Remembrance Sunday.
that's
So
right.
I will
That's right.
be Steve and Tucker with medals and walking through the street, waving at people and shit like that. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So
Oh,
you have
well,
a parade and everything?
yeah. Well, we do. The local village does it. So I turn out force de jour with my with all my accoutrements on and just putting people to rights. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're a
So yeah.
accoutrement.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, all that sort of
Excellent.
good stuff. So that'll be next Sunday for me. But I know you got Veterans Day that weekend as well, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Veterans Day is the 11th here in the States.
Yeah,
The 11th day, 11th month, 11th hour.
yeah.
Even though I got that all kind of backwards. Next stream should be, well, I might actually stream later today, playing wise, other than this. Also a maybe on Monday. We'll see. Certainly stack up in the afternoon. I'm planning on that one for sure, and Thursday. So stack up on Thursday, maybe earlier on Monday, maybe this afternoon. That's a lot of randomness right there.
Isn't it? It's quite. If I can be really bothered,
Yeah, if I
you know what I mean. If I feel like it.
there's just so many other priorities that I have. So if I can sneak them in, I do it. If I can sneak them, but I will certainly be
It's
doing
not
it.
your priorities most of the time. It's the House General's priorities,
Well,
isn't it?
that's
You
yeah,
just
that's
push
that's a
forward
fact.
with
I'm
it.
just I'm just at the end of the whip. I just
Yeah.
react. I'm just completely reactionary. The 200th Coffee Talk Wargaming reward should have gone out. So I believe the two guys that were waiting sent me notes, but and I've already forgotten who it was, but they should have gone out. I have sent the ones that I was purchasing. I think everybody has accepted them. If you won something on the 200th anniversary and you don't have it, look in your, store. You should have a little red icon at the top right, I believe it is, telling you that you have a gift. Because somebody didn't accept it, might have been Bitwise, until a few days ago. So
okay. Yeah, I get that because the gold, by the way, is gone and all that all went. So yeah, it was all done.
So I just want to close the loop on all that. Make sure everybody got their goodies.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody got their goodies, and then we'll start working something up for Christmas, especially as we start to learn a little bit more about what's going on, which I don't have any essay on.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, personally, I want to wait out to see what's coming, and then I'm quite happily I'll feed something into the channel.
Yeah.
In a competition-wise type thing, something major, significant, like a tank or whatever. We'll see.
Bitwise, to save money, and because they're cheaper, I sent rigged premiums. So
they don't have any CCRG attached.
Well, they're even worse. It's like a 50% discount, but they can only get you about 47% win rate maximum.
I must have a lot of those in my garage.
Good news is they make credits as long as you do damage.
Yeah. I've got to catch up on chat before we go any further. Battle of Hastings. Yes, it is, Wayne. It's to commemorate the Battle of Hastings when we kicked the French's backside back. No, we didn't, did we, really? But anyway. And yes, we do a time change. Stickler, we do. We did it last week. You guys are slow off the mark, but hey. We invented time anyway, so...
You invented time?
Well, we did, because that's where the meridian is, isn't it? It's right the way through the Great British Isles, isn't it?
We
invented time, and then we dictate when the Germans sit down to have tea, because we tell them they can go an hour later than everybody else.
You didn't invent time. You just decided that in order to figure out longitude, you would be the center of time.
Absolutely, we are the center of time. We've given you your time zones. That's what we did.
Yeah, I just played the E5 this morning. Actually, I got up earlier as the clock went back, and I just woke up. I actually played a game in that. And there's a. Speaking of that, I guess we could go to shilling. Are we done with all this? I think we are. Oh, 100 Battle Challenge.
Yeah.
Finished the M60, which is why I have it in. Well, you don't see it because we're still in the coffee shop. But the M60 and the AE Phase 1, the tale of two tanks.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? The times we streamed, it was a very interesting period of time, wasn't it? Really?
I mean, the M60 I loved. It's a fun tank, but I ended up like a 49% win rate at 100 battles, and I could not win. And I will tell you what it is. It's the tumor, man. The amount of games, clutch games, and important spots that I got into. Good morning, for free. And then just got absolutely abused because of the tumor. Man, now that's because I tend to fight up front, so I needed to avoid that. But it's got a great gun, so it's a kind of standoff sniper tank, and its mobility is good. But man, that tumor is just brutal on the M60 there, for free.
It's painful, isn't it? Yeah. Really painful.
Now the A Phase 1, I did much better, and I got a 59%.
Yeah.
And 100 battles.
Yeah.
Although the last few, as you were just discussing, the last few was just like getting punched in the face over and over again.
Wasn't it just? Yeah.
But those are the last two I've done, so another 2 down. That was cool. Shall we shill? Is it time?
I think it's time. I've got the light. You got yours?
I do, sir. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, okay, there we go. Ooh, it started
right after that. Ahead of time. Time ahead.
Yeah. You are the center of time, my friend.
We are the center of time, yes.
Indeed.
You can't count me in. You can't count me in. I mean, already.
All right.
Right, where are we? Are we shilling now?
Yeah, we're going to shill, man. We're going to grab some, whatever I'm looking for here. We're going to grab some website here. So, I was going to talk about Mirny a little while later, but because of the conversation you and I had right before, let's see if somebody in chat has a clue on this. So Pilgrim bought 130, what are they?
Keys?
Keys.
I don't know.
The little vial things, or whatever they're called there.
Yeah, them things.
Thinking that he'd be done with the Mirny thing, But for some reason, that's not enough, and I can't figure out, fellas, what the deal is with this thing.
Shall I explain to the greats, the good and the great, what I actually did?
Yeah.
And right, okay.
And I'll go to it I'll go to it here in the
thing.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so I went to the Murney screen. I went to rewards and noticed that I have yet to unlock any reel because I haven't done the mode because it didn't interest me whatsoever. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll have a look at the various offers and I will get all the necessary keys, that's what they're calling them, decryption keys, to unlock the lot and then just get the tank. So be done with it. So I went to the offer. It was 5,500 gold for 100 keys and a further, whatever it was, 2,200 golds for another 30, which when I looked at reel number 8, it said 130 keys clears your lot. Gets you all the rewards in my mind. So I purchased 130 keys using gold, 7 or 8,000 gold, whatever it was. Went to reel 8, clicked reel 8, paid me 130 keys, and cleared reel 8. Didn't clear 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So didn't get the tank and didn't clear any of the other reels. To clear the rest of the reels, I need a further 140 keys. But I'm not doing that. Wargaming, you have mugged me right off because your explanation was absolute Billy Pants. Billy Pants.
hell or Billy Pants.
They are tight, nut-crunching pair of pants. They're Billy Pants.
I have learned a new term today. Wargaming, your plan is Billy Pants.
It's Billy Pants.
Billy
Nut-cracking
Pants.
Billy Pants.
So
Thank you.
you need 130 keys. Nope, it allows you to finish 8. Rigged, standard. You need to kill the immortal to get the other reels. Does anyone have a clue how this is supposed to work? I haven't touched it. That's not true. I played like 2 games, and it made me want to stab my eyes out with
The understanding is that you earn the reels or you get the reels by completing phases by playing the game. But then you've got to have keys to unlock it, the reel.
right.
And how do you get keys? I don't know. Do you get keys in game? Do you have to go and buy them? Well, I don't know. Anyway, how come it let me unlock 8 if I didn't have any reels at all? I don't know.
I mean, so
No
basically
idea.
what we're saying here is you have to play the game to unlock the ability to unlock the reels.
That's what it looks like to me.
Is that,
Yeah, thanks, Wargaming.
I mean, I'm talking out my rear end here because it's not a mode I played, and I did a quick perusal of the explanation and went cross-eyed, passed out, and bounced my forehead off of my desk and woke up at that point.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. You get keys as you do decent in the mode. Better you do, more keys. Harder the mode, more keys. I find medium mode harder than hard mode. Well, that makes sense. Good. Old man the wise, how are you? Borador. All right, so I think we've basically come up with the idea that you have to play it even though you bought the keys.
Right. So
The exact details of that are unknown. To you and me. To you and me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm like, Wargaming, keep your King Tiger C. I don't want it anymore. I can't be arsed with it.
Now, on the forum, most people are saying it's actually fairly easy to do. Is that true? I don't know. I can't in this case.
O-Dog has just said 1 or 2 games is enough for him. Or was that, it's too much, that's enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Howie says didn't put much effort having to rely on other players to get the tank. Yeah. That's what I found in the whole 2 I played. On 1, we actually worked pretty well together. I think we won the first one. On the second one, we had an AFK.
Yeah.
Already gimped. We had another guy who hadn't played the mode yet, and he went and fought the Immortal when it showed up.
Yeah, I've had that. I had 2 games. The first one was exactly like that. This guy wellied off and when he got absolutely obliterated by the Immortal. I thought, what? And he was one of the scouts.
And when you're casual, why would you necessarily know if you're not really paying attention? Oh, what's this mode? And you jump in, and you're trying to do them. Now,
let me go kill it.
I suppose that probably got less and less as the mode went on, I would imagine. But still, if you happen to be on that team with the rando guy, that attacked the immortal, you're like, oh, great. First time chat from the water rat.
Hey,
Just to buy the...
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about, water rat.
I've been trying to buy it, but
he tried to buy it, but it didn't work. He got 130
key things,
keys,
They call
which
keys.
You can't use until you play it, I guess.
What it lets you do is buy 7 and 8. You can buy 7 and 8, the 2 reels, skip and claim rewards. But 1 to 6, you have to play the game to get the reels. I've just clicked now because somebody said it in chat.
Oh, really?
You can buy enough keys to get 7 and 8 cleared, but 1 to 6, you have to play the game. It doesn't let you buy keys to clear 1 to 6. Because if you click on 7, it says skip and claim reward, which is what I did to get tier 8. Yeah, no. It's not a subject I really want to dig into.
Did you get 5 keys last year?
Yes.
So it's not that.
Didn't count.
So it's not that.
I actually got 6 keys.
You guys, that's your problem. You overachieved.
That's what it was.
This is total overachievement. So you have to play to get through 1 to 6. Then you can purchase your way through 7 to 8.
Yes.
And nowhere was that ever noted when you bought that stuff?
No.
No.
The minute I clicked on it, it just said skip and claim reward. When I clicked on 8, because I didn't think about 1 to 7.
It says skip and claim reward, does it not?
I did. So I skipped and claimed reward on reel 8, and it gave me reel 8, but it didn't give me reel 1 to 7.
So you're looking at the King Tiger going, oh, that's the reward, but really it's this little these dudes down here that you claimed.
Yeah, what they actually give me... What they had to give me was 500 silver, 3 paint styles, and a crew member for nearly 8,000 gold. I was like, you bugged me off wargaming with your Billy pants of a mode.
So I'm still on the uptake this morning because it is Sunday and we've gone back an hour. So
yeah.
That would make more sense if we'd gone forward an hour, but just stick with me here. You have spent 8,000 gold.
Yeah.
To get a crew member, 500,000 silver, and 3 decals.
Absolutely.
Because I was thinking, well, okay, whatever, at least she's going to get the tiger, but you're not getting the tiger.
I'm not getting the tiger, not unless I play the game, and I've only got 2 days to do it in, a day and a half. No, I'm not getting the tiger. They can shove it right where the sun doesn't shine. I don't maybe well want it anymore.
Dude, that's horrible. I feel badly for you, man.
Thank you.
I also feel badly for the not insignificant number of people who have done the same thing, I would imagine.
Well, you look at it and you go, oh, yeah, 8. Yeah. If I click that, 130 keys, I'm done. I get the tiger. And I kept looking for it in my garage. I was going, where's my bloody tiger? So I had to go back to the mode, scroll through it, and I thought, well, it hasn't unlocked 1 to 7. What the flipping heck was that worth? Nothing. And now, of course, I've purchased those things with gold. I can't go back and purchase any more because it said you've had your lot for today.
So you did get some other decals, though. You got mosquito decals. You got you got 30, 20, 50 percenters.
Yes. Got other bits and pieces.
Not worth it, though, of course.
Not worth 8,000 gold, though, was it, eh?
That's amazing.
Not even the crew member.
Wow. All right, let's go shill now that we're angry.
Yeah, let's shill now. I'm angry.
Amazing. Somebody did make a funny comment, though. What is this outrageousness about playing the game?
Yeah.
Oh man, this outrageous.
That was what me thinking.
They make us play the game. That's just ridiculous.
I want to play the game.
I want to buy a tank for $50 that I never play. That's what I want to do. Ridiculous.
I'm not even a collector of the bloody things. You know what I mean? I've only got 300.
I hate the game. I don't even want to play it. I just want to spend money on it. Stupid game.
Oh dear, oh dear.
All right, you bunch of crazies. Here, hey, check this out. This is a pretty easy shill, to be honest with you. Now, the problem is most of you watching have some of or all of these tanks, potentially. But it does say green recruits and tried and true. If you're a brand new player and you don't have and you like the game, I don't know why you would. It's so bad. But I'm just kidding. This is interesting. Do you have this one? Green recruits. It's in featured.
Yes, I do actually. Yes, yes, we do. Hang on. Where's me? It's gone.
You got to log in probably.
Oh yeah, no, it's just I know what happened.
He's going to freeze because he's going to change his.
I know. I logged out. That's what I did.
I'll keep talking while he freezes up. And
I'm getting there.
But it's nine. It's nine tanks.
Okay, do it. What?
Yeah, it's 9 tanks. Batchat, ISU, Basante, LIS,
Right.
GSOR, 274 Alpha, 703 version 2. I don't know why they threw a tier 3 T29 in there, but they did. And a tier 8 T77. 4, only $160.
Yeah.
That's 1, 2,
or
3,
8,000
4,
gold
5,
if you're pilgrim.
6, 7. That's 8 tier 8s. And call them $30. They're probably slightly more. But even 3 times 8 is $240. They say it's 318 though. So I mean that is actually for those tanks a really good deal.
Yes.
Also, if you get the gold, let's see, stock unit.
They give you gold if you've already got the tank.
There it is right there. If you already own it, you'll be compensated in gold minus the applied discount. Ooh, ouch. Okay. So you're only going to get 50% of the gold for each one. All right, so all of a sudden it's not as good a deal. That kind of sucks. And there you go. But you'll still be getting your money's worth. You're getting half the gold, but you're paying half the money for the gold anyway. I guess you'd have to.
And you've got those tanks to use and all the rest of it, haven't you? I mean, Have you got the Renagade and the Barusk on sale at the moment in your featured? Just
I do. Yep.
Right, I'm just going to say probably 2 of the best tanks in the game.
Yeah.
On sale right now. If you want a decent pair of tanks and you've got a lot of money to spend, go ahead and do it.
And this other one with 11 in it's got some of the same tanks and more though. It's got the Batchat and the Renegade in it. The action.
Batchat, there you go. That's worth it.
Great tank, average. Renegade, great tank. Su-130. A lot of people like it. I think it's slightly above average. Same thing with the Scorpion. I mean, they're just TVs, so they have kind of limitations. But they will print credits. Lorraine 52, good tank. Lanson, good. 52P, good. 432, good. TS5, good for a casemate. Skoda T27, hot garbage. But that's 11 tier 8s in this case for only 205. So I don't know who would... Someone said re-rolls. I suppose that's possible. I'm trying to figure out who would really be in the market for that. And the fact that you don't get full gold for ones you own would further limit, I think, people who would go after that. But there you have it.
Yeah.
Gold Drip is back for the veterans. That's the one where you have little missions to get extra gold along the way. There's the Renegade that Pilgrim was talking about and the Barras, both good tanks. Here you go, Pilgrim. You get some more decryption keys if you need them.
I can buy... How much is it in dollars? I can get another 100 keys, you know. I can almost get the tank. I only need another 40 on top.
In 2 weeks to play the mode.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of that stuff for the... We'll go over here, though, to gold. The war chest is discounted again now, so it's back down to 99.
I don't think anybody was buying it at £100.
No. Well, I mean, it's all the credits. It's just not worth it. It's 10,000 gold for 100.
I'd rather get the 25,000 gold for the same money.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Premium's pretty standard. They do have this deal with the little T29 chucked in there. For vehicles, the aforementioned Renagade, Baroth. I have a Lance, and so I have some other exclusives, I think, either from Prime Gaming or from
exclusives that I don't have.
The veteran thing. There's the 9 and 11 again. And then the standard stuff. And I recently did a video on this, on best tanks in the store, and we covered some of these tanks, what I thought of them. There's quite a few good ones in here, actually. The Lurva's good. Sturv's good.
Yeah.
Cannon's good. The Cannon d'Assault is decent. Some people like the W.
They're all sort of been the standard premium shop
Yeah,
tanks, haven't they? And they've been there quite a while. So I mean, they're not overly over power crept. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
They still
yeah.
hold their own most of them.
Yeah, most of these are still solid tanks for sure. They're also all the tanks that are in the tech tree that you can get for gold. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Once you get here into all the standard ones that aren't specials, these are all on the tech tree here. So that's pretty much that. What else we got? Specials. Nothing really new here. We got these giant packages that are still kicking around.
Yeah.
Quick starter kit, and then there's the battle pass stuff, which is ending on the December 7th. A day that will live in infamy.
Yes.
A day that will live in infamy. All right, let's go and check out what else is going on missions-wise. That's it for the shilling, my friends. All right, check it out. For the veterans, you should have picked up a T-26E5 if you did not already have one. There should be one in your garage. This is where it came from if you're on the ID Me veteran thing. All right, got to get moving on about it.
Which is absolutely fantastic because first of all, the Patriot is a good tank. I like it. I like it a lot. And secondly, to give veterans a free tank, well, you know what I mean. That's proper thinking. Good on Wargaming NA.
Yeah.
I think it's Wargaming NA who did that.
It is, yeah. Right now, that I don't know if they've included the Canadians. They were talking about it. Did the Canadians end up with it? I can't remember. Any Canadians in the house? Have we managed to? I thought we unlocked that somehow. I got the credits as well. Stickler, same thing. New World is still in my playtime. I watched some of that gameplay, and then I realized I thought it was an RPG, and then I realized it's an MMO, and I'm just like, nope. Because I'm watching a guy play it, and it's nothing but explosions and crap flying around and numbers coming off of everything and people moving in a bazillion different directions. I'm like, no, thank you.
No. The game that, just while we're on this tangent, the game that has taken me away from World of Tanks for the last few days has been Age of Empires version 4. And it is absolutely well worth. I mean, it's gone up in price now because I pre-ordered it. It was cheap as chips. It was, I want to say, £30 or something like that. But it is up to date graphics wise and everything else, but with the old school feel because they keep the original type music in it and everything. So it is fantastic. The only problem I've got with it is one of the lead-in missions before you get into the actual game itself is the 100 Years' War against France. And of course, we won everything until the end, and then we lost it. So I've just got to the end where we lost, and it typical of somebody who doesn't understand the English and the French. It went, and the English all ran away, and the French got France back. Well, no, it didn't happen like that. I can tell you. But anyway, the French cheated because they invented cannons and gunpowder along with the Chinese. They nicked it off the Chinese, and we had longbows. That's what happened. The bloody French cheated by throwing cannons into the battlefield. End of. Right, what were we talking about?
The Empire has a long memory.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How much is it?
Where were we? Sorry, Quid.
I'm thinking about getting it, actually. I did watch a little gameplay yesterday while I was kicking around for a bit. I almost downloaded on Steam, but then I got busy doing $60, okay. Then I got busy doing something. So also consider just changing the whole channel over to a Age of Empires 4 channel.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't involve the French winning anything. I mean, the only part in the whole mission scenario, because there was about 8 different levels to go through before you complete that particular section of it. The only part that was of any interest to me was Agincourt. The rest of it was the French won this and the French won that, and the French and Joan d'Arc was the hero and all. Well, we did her right, mate. We stuck her on a bonfire. That's what we did. Bloody Joan d'Arc, Saint Joan. Get away with it. Anyway, don't get me going.
Wow.
French.
Wow. What would you even do with France?
Well, no, I mean we just used it as a sort of like a laying over sort of area before.
But say you won it, what would you do with it? It's full of French people.
Well, no, we'd just clear it out. We would move all over.
Oh my God! Oh, we're cancel Pilgrim.
No, this is not a program. We would just say to the French.
Sounded like one.
No, we would ask them kindly, nicely.
Yeah.
Would like to move to Paris?
It's like, yeah, that's like the king.
Like
We should really clear out France, and then all of a sudden something really bad's happening. All right, Patriot Missions. Patriot Missions. Take your new Patriot and drive it around a bit. And these missions are pretty easy. You can get some goodies. Just realize it's for the Patriot, guys. So if you have one, these missions are for the Patriot. Play the Patriot. Get some Coca-Cola, decals, flags. Festoon yourself with the red, white, and blue and all that good stuff.
Here's a question then, because I've got the Patriot Missions here because obviously I've got it down and all the rest of it. But I didn't get it through the veterans thing. I've already had the Patriot, so I've got the missions.
Mm-hmm.
Do they stack up with other missions then? So all these little goodies you get, if you play the Patriot, it'll stack up with the other missions, won't it?
Yeah, if the other missions are doable with that tank, you'll do all the missions that tank can do at once. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's see, on track. It is a ×2 Crew XP weekend. And that's pretty much it. I think that's it. Let's see what we got in the UI here. What'd you have?
Commander AF's mission is easy peasy as well, isn't it? But it's for the old Scorpion G, isn't it, and all that. So.
Oops, I gotta go to the right place. Missions. All right, so we've got the Patriot missions. I did one of them this morning. I did, 2,600 damage and a loss. Creeping It Real. This goes to November 25th. That's the Prime Gaming missions. Patents on track. Watt Salute. Standard. Still going on. Community hunting. Multipliers are on track. Also, the IS-4 is on track. Here's a weekend special one. That's what's going on today. So we've got some decals. Some kits. Doesn't look like it's too difficult. Just kind of crank through that. That's going to happen while you play. Nothing really to concentrate on. Wait, what? Oh, there's the Patriot missions. All right. Talked about that. Cool. I think that's it, man, for...
Yeah, not a lot on the mission side. But then again, there's a lot of goodies being given out left, right, and centre with Battle Pass and everything else, isn't there? So, we can't moan that the missions are not really giving us much. They're giving us stuff, but,
You're awesome. You're awesome. The You Are Awesome version.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, what giveaway? That's a Scorpion G with stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Water Rat, I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you like it. That's fantastic. Fantastic.
Ooh, thank you for that. Yeah.
And it's the You're, not it's the one that's You Are. All right, guys? It's not...
Yeah, it's the You're with an E at the end, and awesome. Which
there,
and
there.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Your and your.
Which and which.
Yeah.
How many witches are there? We need to catch up on chat because
there's 3.
Actually, a lot of people are agreeing with me that we could send the French to either Canada or Australia or where else are we going to send them?
Stop dredging that. Stop dredging that back up.
No, I know. All right then. And then Doctor Who comes in. In heaven, the cooks are French, the police are English, the mechanics are German, the lovers are Italian, the bankers are Swiss, whereas in hell, the cooks are English, the police are German, the mechanics are French, and the lovers are Swiss and the bankers are Italian. I think you've hit the nail right in the head, Doctor Who. I like that one. That is good.
Fantastic,
good.
man.
Yeah, that is awesome.
All right. Are we done with all that? Where are we? What are we doing? Where am I? What happened? Where are my pants? Raise Shell.
Oh, yeah.
Dudes, they raised $81,000.
That is outstanding, isn't it? Outstanding.
41,000 from Used Guys supporting him, which was amazing. That's all going to the USO. And Coke promised to match up to 40.
Yeah.
So I think they probably, as it got towards the end, they're like, all right, if we get to 40, they had a goal of 25. Coke would match 40. They got to 41 and some change. So almost 82,000, over $81,000 for the USO. That's awesome.
What some people may not appreciate is just how much that sort of money means to veterans and, well, certainly to the USO, because it doesn't take a lot of dollars to give a veteran a decent shot at a new life. if he's been injured or he's been involved in any nonsense, or he's just finding it a bit of a struggle. It doesn't take a lot of money. I'm a member of the British Legion, the Royal British Legion over here, which is similar to the USO. And it, pounds and pennies changes a world for a veteran who's on his knees. You know what I mean? I'm getting all emotional, but it does. And so, you know what? Great on you guys, putting your hand in your pocket, pulling the dollars out and doing it, because, you just don't know how many lives you've changed by doing that. Good on you. Well done, USA. Go, USA!
Yeah. So
And Canada, and everybody else who donated.
I echo that. Can't say it any better, man. I do appreciate everybody. So that being said, Veterans Day coming up. You guys have your remembrance thing going on. So salute to the brothers out there.
Indeed.
Brothers and sisters. Let me get that right. All right, stream's getting a little wonky there. So
Well, it didn't close down when I opened my thing up, did it? So it must be.
No, it's. I'm watching it. It's on my side a little bit. It's being a little hiccupy for some reason. Hopefully, it'll calm itself here in a minute. Yeah, it might be Twitch. I'm not getting any other issues with anything, so it could be Twitch. All right, cool. Veterans Day coming up on the 11th. That's why I would like to stream on the 11th. Part of that is so I'm leaving on Friday, and I've got that day off, so expect that. All right. What else we got? We got Myrni is ending. We talked about that. Do we need to beat that dead horse? Probably not, right?
Not anymore, no, because I can't get it out of it. Yeah.
Check this out, guys. Check this out. I found this. New assault maps.
Oh.
Wargaming has in Super Test. Sorry, in Super Test, they've decided to try some new maps for the assault mode. So we've got Red Shire Steeps, Mannerheim Line, Overlord, Safe Haven, and a change to the Ghost Town Assault. So let's go through it. Red Shire is the first one here. Here's the map. Oh, let's get it down a little bit there. Here's the map. The cap will be over here on the west side, over by the castle, right? That's that low area. It's got two different low areas right there, and then there's the hills people hang out on. That's going to change that map significantly because the spawns are way over here in the east.
Yeah.
This fight will be non-existent. The heavy brawl there with the blimp.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I don't know, man. This is interesting because this is a lot of open ground over here. Although you could sneak along the edges potentially, but they're going to get there pretty quickly before you can really get in there. But this is going to change things. There are some ways to kind of sneak a little bit up onto these ridges and forward here to kind of spot. Looks like probably the defenders are going to try to come to the hills, maybe up here into the south and the south and the north to kind of get into these trees. Obviously, there'll be some campers hanging out back in the castle. Maybe a few spotters up around the cap. That's a kind of an interesting one there.
It is interesting because they will reach the cap and the high ground immediately, straight before, because it's quite a hole up the other way because it's low ground to steep ground, whereas where the green is, the 1 and 2 is green. It's almost. I mean, the only high ground is when they hit the cap and they get up onto those ridges. That is going to cause. I don't know. I might even go on Super Test.
You guys can't see the map. Am I not showing it?
Not now. You're not. You're showing us the.
It should be up now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's up now. Yeah, you've got. Yeah.
All right. Sometimes, well, the chat's delayed, so sometimes I've already fixed what people are saying. Can see the map.
Oh,
okay.
you can see. Yeah, you can see the schematic, I think, but not the actual map picture.
Well, yeah, I was just talking to this, but here's the map picture. Here's the map picture. So and it's always interesting to see it from this far above because sometimes it doesn't really look. Sometimes it doesn't really look like the map you play on. You know what I mean? You're like, I didn't even know all this existed. There's all this shoreline over here, and so it's kind of interesting actually. But yeah, so there's the spawns. And you can see the position of the cap is going to be to the west of the central area right there.
Yeah. In fact, isn't that already where it is?
No. No, this is only regular. There's cap here and a cap here.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, I seem to remember being on assault, and that cap.
This has an
was
encounter
there.
mode, right? This has an encounter mode.
Encounter mode, yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah. So
Encounter
this
was
is
there.
assault. This map does have an encounter mode.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but I think you're right. The encounter mode is actually a little bit further up
Bit further over, yeah.
into
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
saddle. I think it is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I used to use that bush where your pointer is now. I used to use that bush
yeah,
to sit in there with a light, and you could get all this ridge spotted up the
yeah.
top side there. But yeah, okay.
So then we go to steeps, and the spawn is over here on the east and down the northeast. Down the southwest is the cap, which is the corner that the south spawn usually uses for the heavy brawl.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So that's quite different right there.
Yeah,
These ads are driving me crazy. And both of those setups will change these fights a lot because now you're going to get
yeah,
a fight kind of crossing here, a fight
yeah, yeah.
crossing
The open
here.
ground. Yeah,
You know, can the scouts get forward? The green scouts might try to get in the middle or up around here and spot guys coming in.
yeah, yeah,
You can move through the edges here. Kind of get there's a spot here with a nice spotting position. If you can get a light
yeah.
tank up in there,
Yeah,
there's
you could run. You could run a tank down that side. And
right. Can you get
you know
there
what I mean?
before
Just
they
get up
do,
there.
or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
try to
yeah,
figure
yeah,
out
yeah,
where they'll try to get to stuff you?
yeah,
You know, so that's
yeah.
changed. And then there's the top down view. And again, look, I didn't even realize this giant bluff was here. I never paid attention to it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, rarely do I ever look up in these maps. You know.
No, you're always focused on the tank, aren't you? That you're
Yeah.
fighting. So, do you know what I keep doing? I keep trying to click your screen to take the adverts off. I've got it full screen, so I can see the maps, and I'm like, oh, I'll get rid of that advert. And I keep clicking, and nothing's happening.
So Manaheim line, this is the one I'm the least jazzed about
Yeah,
because this one is so canalized anyway. I'm like,
that makes me even more. Look at that.
Now, in theory, at least we don't have this ridiculous crossing down here where we get shot in the side. You know, the northeast
Yeah, yeah.
spawn has such an advantage for hurting the southwest spawn trying to get into the brawl down here. So that's gone. Now it's going to be trying to turn this corner,
Yeah,
depending on how fast they get up here. I imagine most
Get
will
up
go to
around
about
there, yeah.
here.
yeah,
But I don't know. Maybe you could get all the way, get hold down here, and even just punish them trying to get around. But there are some ways to kind of sneak around this way, and some ridges and things to fight from here to get the
yeah,
push going on. This one is, you know, there's this low space to get spots or whatever. There's this perch for a scout or
yeah,
TDs to sit up here. You could get south pretty quickly. There are some bushes and things that kind of start spotting guys pushing in from the south here. So
yeah,
the bummer with it is there's just so much unplayable terrain on this particular map. It's kind of painful.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see. This is what Mannheim line looks like from 10,000 feet. Mountains kind of rising up right there. Kind of
Wow.
different.
Doesn't it look different when you do that? When you look at it
Yeah.
like that, that is interesting.
Tundra, one of these split spawn maps. Some guys on a hill up here, guys over here in the north. Then they're going to spawn on either side of this banana, which is going to make this terrain back here basically useless.
Yeah,
These ads, holy shit. The cap is on that little village area right there. I don't know where you go as the greens to defend. This is a ridge line more or less. You could get up into the corner as well. So maybe fighting hold down here. Kind of the same thing here, but it's not as defined as this road ridge is. This is a ridge that you can get to, but they'll be hold down looking down on you mostly, other than guys who might be hanging out here. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting. But that hill is no longer going to be the central focus.
no, and to be fair, there's plenty of dead ground. I know Tundra is going to favour the red team looking at this now because of the dead ground. There's so much dead ground when you're approaching that cap.
Yeah.
They're gonna, if you know, a good team can utilise that. All this dead ground around the centre, the dead ground around the flanking areas. I mean, there's it's going to be hard. You're
Well,
going
it
to get
may
some.
increase the usability of this central
Yeah,
push. Like
yeah, that's what I mean.
you can side scrape here and kind of push into the middle a bit and get lights and do your heavy tanking in here maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out, whether it's really useful or not. Which would mean somebody sniping from the hill could potentially shoot across because you can draw range does include
yeah.
most of this village from the hill. So you'll have TDs get up there and play Sniperino both ways, looking up to the northwest and down to the southwest. So I guess the hill won't be zero use, but it'll be similar to I can't remember what the one's called that has the hill on the side where people like to snipe on assault. It's kind of the same setup actually, where you've got the two hills in the corners here, one hill, one
Yeah.
here, one hill, and they sit up on that center ridge and snipe away. So Tundra looks like this. There's a lot of other stuff off the map that I never really realized was there.
Yeah, look at all that sort of bridges and all the
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I don't even know if
Yeah.
you can see that stuff. Maybe you can from the hill.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I don't. It
Yeah,
seems.
there's a big mining. There's a big mining wheel there and everything. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's awesome, isn't it?
And
Look at
then
that.
Overlord. This one.
Oh dear.
This one. This one. Now you
Oh
can't see
dear.
it, but I think when you look at this side, I couldn't find the second spawn point. I think one's here up top. Maybe I don't know if that's exactly the correct placement, and one's down here. You see the one that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but the second one is to the top of the flag, isn't it? So
Also, what they've done is they've swapped the view from the mini map to this
yeah,
map. They've
yeah.
looks like they didn't do that with the rest of them, so you can see the relative. That's pretty funny, actually. That's a little bit confusing, but anyway, it looks like one's up top, and then some of you are going to spawn on the friggin' beach.
Yeah,
Bloody heck!
yeah. Well, I'll be artillery and the lights will spawn on the beach.
Yeah. Now I sort of like this because not this particular map, but this idea of more modes or more maps because it just changes stale stuff up and lets you learn something new. You know.
Yeah,
Safe Haven is getting one as well, and this will absolutely change the way this map is fought because you're going to have the attackers coming down from the high ground, and then they have to push into a bunch of guys hiding out in the city.
oh, that's going to be hard, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean, that map is difficult in the city anyway. There's so many different firing points in the city. It's very hard to,
yeah,
to negotiate through the city. It's just a minefield. The field's not so bad, but the actual city part. Now they've done that, the defenders have got an added advantage, massive advantage. All those containers you can side scrape off, all those little shooting galleries you've got, all the little because if you flex out left and right.
yeah.
You've got little ridge points. I mean, I've seen an arty on one of the ridge points up there.
Well, I do think that because you're headed downhill, the red heavies and stuff will be able to get into this area pretty quickly.
Well, that's what they need to do
I think it's going to be
otherwise-
really difficult to get into
Yeah.
here or here
yeah,
before they kind of filter out and already have shots on you coming down the hill.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think you can probably rage down into this middle part, which we'll see if that's a good idea or not. But there's the other advantage for the red is they're going to have a bazillion good spots for sniperinos up here. You
yeah,
get some TDs that get a little forward and get a bush, and then they start seeing guys get moving around down here. The green dudes are going to have to be really careful, especially out in the flats on the east and west. Even though there's a lot of buildings and things, there's a million little places you can plink them down below. They're going to have to really be careful. But if they get inside all this bunker area and stuff, then it's just going to be trying to push into this big turtle of guys hiding out amongst all these buildings. So that'll be a different as well. Ghost Town's getting one. Actually, Ghost Town's getting changed.
yeah.
So-
It does need to be changed. So,
Check it out. So currently, the cap is here. And what they've done, very interesting, is they've moved it into the city. Remember, we had that game where
Yeah,
where we barely won. We stopped
Yeah.
them, because they had to get into this. And the problem is, on this map, people just hide out in these out here, end game,
Yeah, yeah.
last ditch in the corners or whatever, and they have to push into that open spot, and you just can't cap it out.
yeah,
I mean, you have to on this map. You almost always have to kill all of the green guys.
yes, absolutely. Yeah,
but
because
move,
there's no protection at all once you're out into that field area.
Moving it into here is going to turn this into a city brawl.
Yeah, that's true.
There's very limited ability for anybody back here to shoot into that part of the cap. Although a little.
Have they, I wonder then, have they removed the non-destructible barriers between the buildings? That line of buildings there,
Don't know.
I think there's only one gap you can actually get through. The rest of
There's
non-
one in the south and one in the north, I think.
Okay.
I think there's two,
Yeah.
as I recall.
Okay.
But there you go, guys.
All right. Interesting. Interesting days ahead.
Now that's all super test crap, so it could change. Obviously, it's not necessarily that is not necessarily a done deal.
Yeah. You want to?
Bitwise says, yeah. Bitwise says he's turning it off. Corner sniper nests are OP. Yep. Don't bother with new maps. Just add assault to all the existing maps. They could. I mean, I like assault. I know a lot of people don't. I get the reasons. I agree. The ghost town change is needed. And that's it. Safe haven over there.
The thing is with the assault and the encounter modes, I actually like them. I mean, I've got them turned on. Well, in fact, tell a lie, I have them turned off on my EU account, but on the NA account, I've got them all. The thing is that because for a lot of players, they possibly don't realise what mode it is until they're sort of headed off into their normal direction, and then by then it's too late. So they just carry on and do their normal standard game.
Oh, I've seen that for sure. Absolutely, you can tell that sometimes. People just start driving away, and you're like, "Oh boy, this guy's not processing." Yeah, and I've done it. I've done it before. I've started. I've done it just hour 3 and just start driving like, "Oh wait, this is encounter." Not paying attention.
Yeah.
Wayne makes a good point further back as well. Where are the new maps? Yeah, man, we just went through that whole thing, right? 9 maps.
Yeah, we did.
So what's the deal? When are they coming? I liked all of those. There was 3 I was not jazzed about. There's one I really didn't like. I don't remember which one. But the second 2 tranches of 3 I loved.
Yeah.
All of them. So
yeah, the first one we did with that big airstrip, and had a tunnel going underneath the middle of it. That's the one I didn't like at all, and I think you're the same.
Yeah.
Because it was just EBR territory all the way down across the map, because you had this huge airstrip all the way down.
Yeah, Bitways makes a good point, and I agree with that. Sometimes people just don't realize it,
Yeah, I mean it makes for interesting gameplay when it happens.
Well, that and the mechanics of it. Like sometimes they play it right, they play the map correctly for the mode, but they don't realize the mechanics of things like the capping, how it changes in encounter, and on assault, on defense, sometimes it's enough just to live.
Yeah.
Because they don't have time to cap, and you don't want to be. And then we're going to get to this in a minute. When you come up, Pilgrim's got a bunch of things you may not know about World of Tanks. He's got his top 5 we'll get to in a little bit here. But one of them is the mechanics of capping and taking damage, and when you should shoot at somebody and when you shouldn't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're sitting on a cap and you don't want to ruin your camo and you're in a close run game where you need the cap to win. You constantly see people go to the front edge of the cap from where the threat's coming from and then shoot at people. And you're like, well, you had 2 seconds, dude. If you'd have been at the back edge and just stopped moving and not shot, you might have snuck that one out.
Funny old thing, eh?
I say that because I got super triggered by a game yesterday on people being absolute muppets. Anywho.
Of course. Part of the course, sir.
Anywho. New marathon leak.
Oh.
New marathon leak.
Oh.
So apparently, I've read that somewhere else. Oh, I wanted to show you guys a page as well that I hadn't seen before. A web page. And I don't know if anyone is familiar with this one. I'm probably late to the party. But it's called twolinepush.com. You can't see it because I have it cut off. But that's what it is. twolinepush.com. The word two. The word line, the word push, just all in a row.com. So it's some kind of blog, and I don't know how long it's been around, but I found this November marathon. Now, the thing that's, I don't know, it's pure speculation. All right, so I don't know where he got this, but on a couple of the articles, he mentions a source, a wargaming source. Now, anyone can start a blog and start talking bollocks about sources, so I don't know. His source may be that Russian site, whatever it's, Watt Express or whatever. I don't know.
That tomato sauce or brown sauce we're talking about?
What happened?
Oh, sauce! Oh, sorry. 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 You guys call it ketchup. I call it sauce. Brown sauce, tomato sauce. Sorry. Sauce, as in bloke
Source.
who let the
Source.
person who let
Source.
the yeah,
Source.
SOUR. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't know what sauce they use. Are they a red sauce or?
I don't know, ketchup or brown sauce or mayonnaise. I don't know. Sorry, completely lost it there. Carry on, sir.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Alzheimer's is a hell of a thing, Pilgrim.
I know. I'll stick to me tea. Come on.
So that being said, sauce or not, the question is, what tank is it going to be? Now they've got a couple listed here that are in the files. Some of them are 9s, some of them are 8s. That's the kind of the question of the day right there. Will we get a 9? Will we get an 8? I don't know. So the Object 590 is a tier 9. Is this the auto-loading thing? Yeah, this is a reverse auto-loader. God, what a disaster. Anyway, I would love to never see that get one in the game. The Cobra is a tier 9. Also an autoloader, right? Or no? Yes, another freaking autoloader. So there you go, 2 autoloaders. The Lorraine, thank goodness, not an autoloader, finally. But also a tier 9 heavy, I believe. Then we have the Bofors, another autoloader, I think. Yes, no, maybe so. Maybe nope, just a big gun. So the Bofors Tornwagen, that's a tier 8 with a 400 Alpha. Kind of looks a little bit Chimera-esque in terms of stats and whatnot. The WZ-114, now into the tier 8s. The 360 Alpha gun, kind of cool looking tank actually. The Caliban, is this the one with the ridiculous gun? Yeah, 800 or 950.
Wow.
I think it's a Hesh, right? Isn't that a Hesh? I think that's
yeah.
a Hesh.
No, it'll be the FV barrel, won't it, or something like that?
Yeah, so it's something. It's got 10 seconds. Well, that's I thought it had a really long reload time, or does it just have? It's got the atrocious dispersion, 0.6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you
Might
ever
as well
hit?
be artillery.
How you hit anything with that bad boy? But goodness gracious, 950 at tier 8. Can you imagine some of the tier 6s and 7s running around?
Yeah.
Penetration.
I mean, look at the pen as well. The pen is 292 with the
650
special round.
No, that's the AP. I think it's backwards, dude. I think the 950.
Oh, is it backwards? Yeah.
The 950 180 is the Hesh round. So super damage, not as much pen, but 292 pen, which is a ton. Still for 650 at tier 8.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a 0.6 and a 7-second aiming time. 7.
Yeah.
1001,
But, I mean,
1002, 1003, 1004, 1005,
probably get it down. You probably get it down.
1006, 1007. That's how long it's going to take to aim this thing in.
Yeah, you could probably knock a couple of seconds off that if you had the right crew with the right setup, possibly.
Well, that is true, because when you start talking percentages of the time, it's a larger chunk the bigger the number. It's not going to get you down to 2 or 3, but
no, it'll get down 5.
5-ish maybe, I guess. Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows? We'll have to take a look at what the equipment does on that. There are some others. There was another list I had found. There it is. This was on the forum. So these are the tanks in Super Test 8 and 9. So Cobra Caliban 113-2 China server only. WZ-120 GFT. Is that different than the one we have? Is ours just a W-120 FG or GF? I don't know, but there's also China. Object 752 is a 9, 590 is a 9, then the T-44 lightweight is a light. Some people are saying it might be the Alt Proto AMX-30. Then we've got the Lorraine 52, the Bofors we talked about, and there's an UDES Alt 3, which is a tier 8 medium. So there's quite a few tier 9s running around. Of course, they're going to need some tanks for a Battle Pass next year.
Yeah.
And for, Battle Pass, and for ranked
lines.
and ranked. No, not front lines. Remember, it's gone.
Oh yes,
I mean,
sorry.
tanks are
Yeah.
gone out of it. You don't get tanks.
Yeah.
Battle Pass was what. So they're going to need a new tank or two or whatever for Battle Pass. They're going to need something for ranked. So some of those are going to be candidates for that. Some of them will be candidates for the loot boxes, provided we get those in Christmas, and potentially a November marathon. But we're already 7 days into November.
I find, yeah, well, okay, it's a 7-day marathon, but isn't that could be over a saturation? But because of, if Christmas turns out to be like it has been for the last couple of years, putting a marathon on just before the Christmas loot boxes start throwing themselves out, I'm just wondering whether people will go for it, because most people will run the marathon up until about 40-50% and then buy it.
Well, they're usually 10 days.
They are, aren't they? 10 days, not
They're
7
usually
days.
10 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible there isn't one. I don't know.
It would be interesting. For me, it would be oversaturation of the market, but I'm not a business guy, so maybe they've figured it all out.
Howie makes a good point. There's also the Yo tanks I didn't mention, so they're floating around out there.
Yeah,
I would imagine the M4Y279 R2D2 Yo thing is probably one of the boxes things.
Yeah,
I bet that's a Christmas box.
It's been almost signed off on, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's out there. They've actually advertised it. It's got a new game mechanic. They're probably going to want to set up the new line, maybe coming out in January or something like that. If there is something in November, it's going to be a kind of one of these one-off tanks somewhere along the way. That's my guess. If there is one, maybe there isn't. But we did not get Halloween boxes. That was interesting.
Yeah, we didn't, did we? Well,
Yeah.
I think that was a broken mechanic.
Well, the reroll thing nobody liked, but it was loot boxes,
Well, yeah.
But I think that's too much, right? We talked about it last year. It's like loot box. All right, what's the point? If they're not both as good as the other, why would you bother with the one?
That's exactly that, isn't it? I mean, they must look at the data and go, well, that didn't quite work for us last time, so we'll change it up.
Actually, that's a good point. They may have looked at the numbers they got out of it because everyone's sort of saving up for Christmas and went out. Along with the bad press of the reroll thing, it didn't work out for us, so they came up with Mirny.
Yeah.
And that was a marathon for a tank, essentially.
Yeah, it was.
Right? It was a tier 7 tank. There was a mode marathon. You got a tank if you did the whole thing. So there it is. That's,
Yeah. And you weren't allowed to buy it.
Give me loot boxes or give me AoE 4.
Yeah. Now, wouldn't that be interesting if they had an affiliation with another gaming company and they could offer that as a prize? Wouldn't that be good? Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's thinking ahead, isn't it? That's thinking Wargaming affiliated with I don't know who does AoE now. It used to be a brick company, but I think it was bought out, wasn't it? But
Stickler, it's Civilization Light and more about the RTS battles. Like Civilization doesn't have RTS, at least it didn't last one I played. So you do build stuff and you do kind of explore, but I'm assuming it has an open world mode of some kind where it just gives you a random map and off you go.
yeah. You've got it's multiplayer as well, so you can actually go online with it these days. Back in the day when I started, it wasn't online, but it was all AI. But yeah, you got an open world, you've got all sorts of stuff. It's
but it's not as detailed as Civilization. You don't.
No.
Everything you build is more or less aimed at building more stuff military-wise, and the goal is to beat people military-wise. There's none of the other things that Civilization gets into. So I think it's a stripped-down version of the building part, but it's a buffed-up version of the RTS battle part. Yeah, Cliffy, they do. It's a fine line, man. It's a great point. I've been thinking about this a lot. So the other day I sat down. Let's go off on a random tangent. And AoE, Age of Empires, is what kind of spurred this. And I thought, well, let's get a new game. Let's maybe Age of Empires 4 or look around Steam. So I started digging around Steam. I was actually talking to a good friend of mine in town. He's a big console guy, and he more likes these adventure games and stuff, puzzle games and crap like that, which is cool. So we're talking it, and I said, I sat down, I was looking through Steam trying to figure a game to get because I had a hankering for something new. And as I was looking through everything, I sort of realized. I said to myself's like, what? And I said, I have played all of these games. Not as in literally played them all, as in, but every time I read a description, every time I read a description, I'm like, it's derivative. I've played that.
Yeah, nothing new. Nothing new on the market.
Yeah, and maybe there's not going to be. And I think that was part of when I was younger with playing video games. Everything was so freaking new. I'd never done that before, And then you're okay with a couple new iterations of the same thing that gets better and better. But I'll tell you that as an older gamer, you start looking for some other stuff or things that are a little bit more intriguing. But back to whoever's point it was, sticklers. There's also a top end for me because I bought Heart of Iron 3, I think.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Holy crap! I mean, I love the idea of the complicated nature of that, but I played it a little bit. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't have the time to dig into this and figure it out. So I just put it down. I'm like, I love the idea of it. I'm glad people love it, and it's cool that they made that. So there is a top end of complication, and there is a where it's too simple as well for me, I guess.
Yeah. I'm very similar. My son has been at the beginning and right the way through with Destiny. He was one of the alpha and the beta guys and all the rest of it. So he's been in it. I've never got into it, but I got it on PC about 6 months ago, and I've only played it about 3 times because you have to be in at the beginning. It's almost like World of Tanks. As a noob in Destiny, it is so difficult to catch up. Or even get to a level that's, my son sat behind me on this bed here while I was trying to do it. He's going, Dad, you're absolutely crap at this. Just give it up. I was going, thanks for the advice. I brought him in to show me, and he was like, no, you're just crap. Just leave it.
Yeah, stop playing it. Stop playing it. It's terrible.
So, I get it. When a game is overcomplicated and has many facets, to start off new, maybe it's an age thing. I'm like, I can't be doing with this.
Yeah.
I can't put the effort in. I just don't want to anymore.
Yeah. Well,
unless it really catches me.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I keep coming back to tanks. I mean, I'm good at it, right? I mean, I'm comfortable with it. I'm good at it. I enjoy myself for the most part. Doing this stuff is cool, but you do want to branch out. I'll tell you one that I really enjoy is Bannerlord.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that to me. Yeah, I've had a look at that.
I quite enjoy that. I'm trying to think of the base game's name. What the heck is it? Oh my goodness, what is it called? Anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. Hold on. All right, there we go. We're back. So, did I freeze this up? No, I didn't. Good. Bannerlord's good. All right, what else we got going on?
But shall I do my top 5?
No, hold on. We got one more. We've got one more leak to talk about.
Oh yes.
On that same blog, there is a article talking about a wargaming employee leaking that potentially there will be vehicles for bonds in the black market. And the vehicle name that came up, this is a total speculative, random, probably total BS speculative statement. But the tank, yes, Wayne got it.
Oh, get out.
Yeah. So let's delve into that for just a second. Let's say that that's confirmed. How many bonds would it be? Now, would it be the what do they call it? The open auction or whatever, where
you pay
the highest guy wins, or will it be there's 200 of them and they cost this and they go in 1.7 seconds? And if so, what would the bond? So let's go with you. It's whatever you put in. What's the word I'm looking for? Whatever you bid. Thank you. Goodness. Whatever you bid. So it's highest bidder, basically.
Yeah.
What do you suppose they would go for?
Well,
Metal Lover says 30,000.
30K. I thought 30K straight off. Easy.
Yeah.
100K for bonds? Who's got 100,000 bonds? Not
So that's my question because I was thinking about this, and that's a number that kind of came to mind to me. But is anyone really sitting on 100,000 bonds? And if they
I
are,
find that
why?
hard. I find that really hard. That that's
Well, I
sitting out
bet you
there.
there are. I bet you
Good
there are for
grief.
whatever reason because there are some people who they just play everything. They play all the tier 10s. Maybe they've bought everything for bonds they could ever possibly want, right? And then they've just built up some crazy amount of bonds.
I guess it's possible, but you're right. You would have to be totally focused on all the bond making mechanics in the game to do that, surely. Because I've got, see, this is annoying because I've just spent bloody half of my bonds on a tank, and I
Yeah,
had like 20,000 or something,
yeah.
22 or something like that.
Well, and there's no way to buy yourself to bonds.
No,
Sometimes there's some kind of tangential ways to get some along the way, but there's no way to just go give me bonds with money. You can't really do that. Not in large bulk amounts.
yeah,
Bitwise bid 40,000. So last time it came up, that it was over. What did it end up being, man? It was like 45, 47, I think, somewhere around there to get it. So 40
yeah,
would have been right below it.
yeah.
And so that was the next thing I thought. Well, what have people bid in the past? Reference Clan Wars to get the tank.
Right.
So oh man, all of a sudden we got more chieftains.
Yeah,
You know, I've only got 8,464 bonds, so I'm out of the pool basically for this.
sure. Well, I think majority will be. Because over this period of time, you buy your bond tanks, you get your M60 or your whatever it might be, your 121B, and so on and so on. So it's a game of attrition because you don't earn bonds in large enough amounts to be able to accumulate unless, like there are, as you say on the chat, there's some people out there with 35k.
Yeah,
35k to me is a big number of bonds. That means you've not used those bonds in the last
yeah.
whatever just to get that.
Yeah,
I don't.
ranked will get you chunks of bonds. That's right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
That's the way you get chunks of bonds. You get
yeah,
some from battle pass, but not nearly the amount you can get out of ranked. And especially if you do well in ranked, you can really start collecting some bonds. Of course,
yeah.
some people will spend the bonds on getting tanks out of ranked, so that's going to knock it down. But you can get a chunk.
And purple equipment. That's the other thing you buy
Yeah,
with bonds, isn't it? You know?
yep. But I don't think people necessarily just willy nilly buy purple equipment. They tend to equip out the tanks, their Clan Wars tank or their favorite
Yeah,
tanks
yeah,
or,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, their pub stomper or whatever. And then I don't think they go too far into, all right, I'm just going to keep grinding bonds and keep putting purple on everything I can put it on. That guy
yeah.
probably exists somewhere, but as a general rule, that's not common, I don't think.
I mean, my personal viewpoint is that I play the game, play the game, play the game. I ignore the bond thing. I mean, it doesn't figure. And then I look at some point and go, oh, I've got 20,000 bonds. I'll pop the bond shop and see what tank I can buy.
Sure.
I've never actively played to gather bonds, but I'm sure there are people who do.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. We've been at this for an hour and 15, so I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Guys, give me a 5-minute break because my eyeballs are swimming at this point. Let us know what you think about the bonds down below, and we'll hit this up when we get back. But give us 5 minutes. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So let's see. Day 1, bonds for gold auction. Heisenberg, I think you hit the nail on the head right there.
Yeah.
Feels like people are putting full purple equipment on tier 4s now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
I will say this, another random tangent, is I've been doing the 100 battle challenge with some of my higher tier stuff. I have taken several of those tanks, as you guys have seen, and I've put some bond or bounty stuff on it, and it does make a difference, man.
Yeah.
It's not auto win, but it just makes things better, you know. So I don't know.
There's a definite advantage to that type of equipment, and also the new thing that's come out. You can boost your. I can't remember. This is terrible. This is Alzheimer's kicking in. This new
The bounty
idea,
stuff?
No, the other you can upgrade your equipment.
Field mods.
Field mods. That's the one.
Yeah.
Field mods with bounty equipment and 5 skill crews.
Yeah.
And yada yada. It just major pain.
Yeah. Bonds for gold sounds like a money grab. I would agree, and I think that was mostly tongue in cheek. But before I go saying never say never.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I don't want to say I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm saying I wouldn't put it past him, I guess.
Well, if I paid 8,000 for a Tiger Sea, I'll pay 8,000 for some bonds, then, won't I?
What if you paid 8,000 for some bonds but didn't get the bonds?
Didn't get the bonds, yeah. That would be about right.
That'd be even better.
To wargaming again, wouldn't I?
That'd be even better. That was a bit of a bait and switch, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think the way it was actually set up and worded, it was for a simpleton like me, it was quite confusing, and I just thought, yeah, I do that, and I get the tank. Well, that's fairly cheap, 8,000 gold in total. I'll do that.
Simpleton like me.
Yeah. 71 AMC's in the house.
Oh, right on. I just lost on my chat because I clicked something and it reset the page, and then all the chat's gone. You know what, Twitch? No. Once you reset the page, all the chat goes away. So all the history of the chat that we had for me is gone. Twitch, you should fix that. Why would it not just load maybe the last few minutes? See, the first one I see is Heisenberg. Keep in mind, probably one more orders auction from seeing a lot more 279Es.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They did. Did they? Was it for one order? Heisenberg? What was it, guys? Do you remember? I forgot all about that. That would be that would be fantastic, actually, if I could get one more order.
Wouldn't it just? Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Because I'd be done.
That's it.
I'd have to do that 6,500 damage mission that escaped me last week.
Yeah.
It was 1 or 3. Yeah. Wow. It didn't do it the second. Okay, so it wasn't. Okay. So it doesn't help me.
It comes with age, Howie, is that you forget that you've been swizzled, and then you get swizzled again. You get all
Do you get swizzled while you're trying to get unswizzled?
You do.
Yeah. I was on Reddit, and I was watching a YouTube thread, so a creator thread, right? And was it YouTube or Twitch? I think it was YouTube. And yeah, because it's an AdSense account that you have to get your ad revenue. And the guy had just had his channel monetized. And,
right. Okay.
And so you got to get an AdSense account. You link it up, and then they start paying you.
Right.
The 5 cents for every 97 hours of content you put in.
Huge amount of dollars.
The guy gets an email pretty soon afterwards and says, "Hey, there's a problem with your AdSense account. Click this link and." So he's like, "Hey, is this what's going on with this? Do I have to do this? Is there a problem or whatever?" And someone's like, "Dude, it's a scam." And he comes back and says, "Well, no, it looks pretty legit. It's from YouTube." I'm like, "Oh my god."
It's for a nice person.
I'm like, my brother, my friend, my sister, my friend, my comrade.
No.
Oh, please stop! You got to be kidding! Someone just fixed you, and now you're like, "No, I think it's a real email. I think I should click on it."
No. No, please forward your bank details so we can pay you the £1 million that we owe you from the tax rebate we got in South Nigeria. Yeah, right.
Oh my
Oh
goodness
yeah, I'll do
gracious,
that.
man. Yeah, it's on the internet, so it must be true. It came through the email.
Yeah,
Came
yeah,
through the email. Oh my gosh, YouTube needs me to give me their details.
yeah.
Don't they have those?
All the time. Yeah, Elon Musk has a black book with us all in it. I
That
know he's not
was
YouTube, but you know what I mean.
that was crazy. All right, let's talk about you had top 20.
Oh right, okay. Wargaming had a secret top 20.
Well, do them
Which,
all. You said your top 5. Just do them
well,
all.
no, I didn't. I didn't write it all 20 down. I could go to the site, I guess. I can find it again. If you want me to, I will.
I need a
if you
new
got
I
time.
need a new sidekick.
Well, I'll do
They
it now.
just come unprepared.
I'm not. I've got top 5. I've got top 5.
All right, let's do the top 5. Where did you find this thing on the webpage somewhere or what?
Well, I just wrote in secrets of World of Tanks.
Did you really? Secrets of World
Secret.
of Tanks.
Yeah,
what happens here.
and it's 20 secrets about World of Tanks.
Oh.
News, World of Tanks.
There you
Got
go.
it?
Yep, and it's
Right.
listed as an ad because it's actually a paid war game download game. Well, I got download game out of that. I didn't get any secrets out of it.
Well, you see, you have to be in the know to get the secrets. You
What
see.
the heck?
CCs are not allowed to know these.
Oh, I
secrets.
found it. There it is. All right, it was an article from 2016. So here's the question is whether any of these are.
Well, some of them might or might not be.
Let's do them anyway. What's your top 5?
Right, my top 5 out of that 20 then is these are the things I didn't know or just had a bit of an inkling but wasn't quite sure.
All right,
So,
Gator, take it
number
easy,
one,
man.
If you get 100% capture on the cap, if your team then kills an enemy tank, it extends the game by 5 seconds.
Now,
So in other words, you can carry on taking
yes,
damage.
and a lot of people don't know that because you'll get complaints. They're like, "Why isn't this game should be over? Why did it not end?" So
Yeah,
every time
yeah.
you kill a guy, you get a few more seconds to put some more damage in. Yep.
Yeah. So you could be rolling around while your teammate's capping. He caps, you think you've won, and then you get killed. And you're like, yeah, what? We've just won. Anyway, so there's that. Right. Number 2. I did not know this. Knocked out crew gets less XP. So if you've got to you've got to heal your crew before
Yeah.
you come out of the game. Otherwise, you don't get enough. You don't get the same XP. Didn't know that.
Which is why drowning is bad
Right. So it's against a drowning.
because
faction.
they're all knocked out, so you don't get. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you get some. I think wasn't there an iteration of the game at one point where you got 0 for drowning?
Right.
I think that they put that in, but I want to say they backed off of it.
Right.
There you go. Now it's only 10%. Yeah.
Only 10%.
Yep.
Gators had to go, by the way.
See you
later.
again. Hey, before you go, I just want to say 71 AMC. He has a lawsuit pending for 2,000, or just settled for 360 for a magazine subscription from 2006.
Yeah, but
How about no?
Yeah, maybe.
Goodness gracious. I hate scammers. I really do. I can't. I just
Yeah.
despise these people.
The trouble is, the only people they win against is the old, infirm, and slightly,
Yeah.
off-kilter people.
Yeah.
They don't get the norms, do they? Generally, So old people, bless them, get ripped out of their life.
Well,
savings.
so we like to think we're savvy enough that we got this doped out. Our parents were of this age at one point, and they were savvy, but then they got older. Like my mom, I have to watch out for her a little bit, and
Yeah,
she's still
absolutely.
sharp as a tack, but for whatever reason, the world passes you by at some point.
Yeah.
And then so now I'm thinking, how am I about to get scammed when 20, 30 years? Provided God willing, I'm still,
Kicking around.
kicking around, moving around.
Yeah.
Who knows? You're right. Who knows? Maybe there's some kind of weird bio scam or something. Hell, I don't know.
Well, you see, the thing is, today, your mum and dad, my mum and dad, their generation were a lot more trusting and a lot more honest of officialdom. So, if a bobby on the street said, "Madam, you can't go that way," you wouldn't go that way, for example, or whatever. And so you get a semi-official type text or email, and you're of my parents' generation. They're more likely to respond to it because, the government are speaking to me. I better get it done. You know what I mean? Whereas you
Yeah.
and I would go, get out of here.
Yeah.
Come around my house and talk to me. We'll
Yeah.
discuss it face
Yeah.
to face. You know what I mean? So,
Yep. Falling off the technology
Falling
train.
off the
That's
technology
good. I
train.
like that, Major Payne. That's a great way
Yeah.
to describe it, actually. And Doctor Who says you'd be surprised. That's actually true. Now, in terms of being a brilliant or smart person and not having a lot of common sense, that's fairly common. That's actually typically being on the spectrum. We used to call those people absent-minded professors back in the day, but more than likely they were people with ADHD or people on the spectrum who were operational, but they're like, oh, he's just a ditz, or he's brilliant, but he's absent-minded. Well, he's probably ADHD or on the spectrum, actually. We just didn't notice it back then,
Yeah. Yeah.
or we noticed it, we didn't have a name for it, I suppose, is the
Yeah, I think, and as you say, there are, and there has been some very, very clever and intelligent people with those sort of problems with ADHD and being on the spectrum, and purely because of that, they are very, very clever in a field of work that they go into. For example,
without having any proof or data, I would say the majority of the absolute geniuses are that.
Yeah, I mean,
because
even as a common sense sort of thing, you would say that because
nature balances. And usually when you have an outsized capability in one area, you're lacking in another, right?
Yeah.
It's just it just seems to be the way things work, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, there's certainly, obviously, extremely intelligent, super athletic, fairly normal, but usually, and they've done studies on this, actually. I won't name names because it sort of triggers people politically, but there have been studies about some of these extremely intelligent people, that are going basically down that line, that they are unable to do other things very well. They're just they're so hyper focused in the one thing they're really good at.
Yeah.
The rest of it falls away. You don't have so much time in the day to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you look into, the film Rain Man or something like that. If you look into that, what must go on inside the brain of that person, where the whole of life is a series of numbers. Everything is numbered. You know what I mean? It must be It must be so enlightening on one side, but so frustrating in another, that you can't either get other people to see what you're seeing, or understand what they're seeing, because you're like, well, aren't you thinking the way I'm thinking?
Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah, the Nigerian prince one. That's a good one. I got a text the other day. And it had probably 20 people on it. There was a bunch of phone numbers, none of which I know. I know that it's a scam generally, because everyone I know that ever really talks to me is in my phone already, and they have a name.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's just random phone numbers. And it was nasty. Like, it was someone, it was a, hey, I can do this and go to this site and all that kind of crap. Well, there's people responding to it like idiots, saying, oh, stop it, knock it off, I'm calling the cops, stop, like 7 of the 20. Like, bro, go find the number that sent it, go into your block list and just block it. Don't respond, because as soon as you respond, that's an active phone for them.
Yes. And
now they know it's an active phone, and then they'll propagate that. They'll sell that info to other people.
Yeah.
That we have an active phone. They'll sell that to other scammers. And so it's all a big, go under the radar. Try not to give them any indication that you even exist. And after they do it several times and they get nothing out of it, they'll just take that phone off the list.
Absolutely. We get predominantly most of the scam calls to the house phone, the landline, and we just never respond to it. It'll ring, it'll go into the answer machine, but obviously they don't leave a message. But we can backtrack the number. So we get on and we dial in a number, and it tells us what number was it, and it's the same number, and it's it's all over the sort of East Coast, and you just just don't even respond to it. The other thing that I do, which frustrates the hell out of all my friends and my family, is that's my phone. There you go.
That's right.
There is no way you can scam me when I've got a phone like that, because it doesn't receive anything but text and calls. So there you go. My son said, that's a drug burner phone, Dad. You need to get rid of it. I went, what?
You do, yeah. You look a little bit like a drug dealer with that, because for the same reason, right? When a drug dealer is going to have that, because that phone doesn't keep a
I'll
bunch
track
of
it.
his data on it. He doesn't
No.
have to have an account to use the phone necessarily. It's just a number, and that's it. And then it's cheap
Yeah.
too, so they can toss
yeah.
them, right?
Yeah, I mean that cost me $15, and the chip in the whatever they call it, the chip. That's £7 a month for data. So what's that? $10 a month for data and phone calls.
He also has
It does
Win 7.
the job. Yeah, I do have Windows 7.
Well, the string is very long, Cliffy. That's how we're talking right now. I mean, it's got to go across the Atlantic right there. All right, what's the next
Yeah,
one?
it is a long string.
That was a total tangent. What's the next one?
Right, okay, sorry. Dead tanks will absorb RT splash damage. I did not know that, so I'm just going to hover around all the dead tanks now and let Artie just waste his shells on me. Really, really didn't know that. That has made me a happy chappy today. I tell
Very
you.
nice.
So yeah, I'm going to push a dead tank all the way around the map.
Yeah, I knew that. Having played a lot of artillery, you splash it near them and it absorbs it, or you just plain old hit the dead tank and it goes clonk. And
Yes, I heard that noise a couple of times. I always wondered what that was. Yeah,
and all of the damage gets absorbed by it. Yeah, Doctor Who. That's another good one that you see quite a bit.
the porn scam.
Well, that one's brilliant from a psychological level, right? Because if you are a person who does that, now you're panicked, right? The pastor's going to know. Your boss is, your wife's going to know. But you got to think about it for a second. Like, okay, no, you don't.
Well,
You know what I mean?
the thing is, for me, if they said that to me, I'd go, "Do you think this face is a face for porn?" I don't think it is.
No, not you doing it. You watching it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know these things, do I? You know what I mean? Oh, dear. Stop it. Okay. Well, yeah. It's all new to me, this internet stuff. You got Twitch killing themselves here.
Mr. Pilgrim, we have footage of you making a porno. Pilgrim's like, how the hell did you get that? I don't even have the face for it. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I think I need to start drinking again. Hang
That
on
was
a minute.
amazing.
Right, where were
Okay,
we?
yeah, let's go back to tanks. So,
Architect smash damage, right, okay. Number 4 on the list of 5. Number 4.
hey, hold on. Leshu has a good point, because have you seen, what's that dude that was so famous for it all the time? That was so ugly? What was that guy's name? He's actually in trouble for...
Bend Over is his name.
No, he's... Yes, Cliffy, Of course Cliffy would know
Ugly
that.
George.
Of course Cliffy would know that. Ron Jeremy is like one of the ugliest humans in all existence, and apparently he was, one of the most famous porn stars that ever lived or whatever. Although he's in a lot of trouble right now because apparently turns out that industry is kind of gnarly. So, weird. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
Yeah. Anyway,
Who knew?
what's the next one?
Right, okay. All right, I'm going to test this out at some point, but I didn't know this either. Number 4, when aiming and moving, if you use the R button instead of the W button, it keeps your aim circle small. Stops the bloom.
Yeah, it's
I've
related
never
to
seen that.
speed, I believe. The faster you're going, the worse the bloom. And you can, so triple R is to just drive along, but if you hit R once, you creep.
Right, so,
Yeah.
and then you're still moving and you can fire on the move.
Some people make a living with that. It works. They're actually really good at that. I haven't messed with it very much.
Right, I've just seen chat, you need to catch up.
There you go. Bitwise has it. So well, the point of that, guys, is that you can creep forward slowly and you don't get as much dispersion bloom by creeping forward. It's less than if you just scream forward. If you press W, you get full speed, right? You accelerate to full speed. If you hit R, you creep. I think double R is medium or whatever.
Creep or something like
Triple R is full speed kind of thing.
that. Right. Howie says, I'm going to test this out at some point. It's not the thing you say right after the porn convo, Pilgrim. No, I'm not going to test it out. Anyway, right, number five. Number five. Let's get to number
All
five.
right. Well, it's tough slog.
Right.
Here we go.
Currently, completely zoomed in. 9 times out of 10, this is my figures, not war games, but 9 times out of 10, you'll hit the terrain as opposed to hitting the aimed at the tank. You should zoom out by a couple of clicks. Slightly. Just zoom out slightly, because you're more than likely hit terrain if you're fully zoomed in. Didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's a problem I have because I tend to fully zoom all the way. I just zing it all the way in. And
Yeah, I do.
the part of the problem is it's the what am I trying to? It's the view you're getting isn't quite correctly showing where the terrain is in terms of where it is to your pipper. You're too close to it, kind of thing. So when you zoom out, you get a better relative distance between the pipper and the terrain or the building or whatever it is you're trying to not hit. And if you notice me playing, I tend to, on some of those really zoomed in close shots, I'll hit the ground and get pissed off. But that's
Yeah.
because I'm zoomed in too much.
Right. And I've seen, I think, I'm trying to think who it is. It's either JDF or it's one of the other guys in the clan actually takes all his shots fully zoomed out.
Yeah.
That's a different thing altogether, but fully zoomed out. He said, because what he said is that if it's got less pixels, if as long as it hits the shape of the tank, you'll get damage every time. As opposed to if you zoomed in, trying to aim on something. I mean, this is his explanation. I can't remember who it was. If you try and aim zoomed in at a particular point, if you don't get that point, you won't get the damage. But if you fire at a small box a long way away, wherever it hits, and you'll get the damage. So I don't know how true that is.
I don't think so. No, I think it's gonna determine the exact place you hit, no matter what the range is. It has to, otherwise you're not going to be able to hit a weak spot from back there.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's harder to see.
Noble Wolf, that was it. It was Noble Wolf who used to say that.
Yeah.
You fire out almost in third person.
Yeah, Cliffy's got it right there. It doesn't care what your graphics look. But there is something to be said for zooming out a little bit, and some people like the more third person aiming. They're just better at it. So it's really to taste. It also has to do with your mouse sensitivity, obviously your eyesight, your reflexes, your how good your mouse is anyway, your system, your graphics, your connection. I mean, that list goes on and on.
There's a good point, and maybe the guys and the girls in Twitch will put me right. But I've always used a cabled mouse, you know, this sort of thing with a cable on. And other people have used Bluetooth. Now, for me, Bluetooth, it's a built-in delay factor because it's the speed of your. I guess it's the speed of your connection on Bluetooth.
I don't think for this game it's enough to matter for Bluetooth.
Oh, do you not think?
I mean, some, and it's pretty good now. I think some professional gamers would prefer the wired mouse over the wireless. And again, it has a lot to do with your system and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, there is lag. Exactly, Cliffy, and that's my point. It's whether you can really see it or not. All those things I described are limitations on you as the player getting your pipper to where it needs to be in a timely fashion. Right. None of those things have anything to do with the game mechanics as it's coded in the game. Because once you click and that information gets to the server, it does everything, and whatever you are doing means Jack Bubkus. Yeah. Right. Once you make the physical motion to get your pipper somewhere, and you click, and that click translates to the server. Everything in between that's the human interface. Everything in your computer, but that's not doing anything to the. That's not doing anything to the coding and the game mechanics or the rule set of the game. That's just everything it takes to get the click where it needs to be, where you want to try to get it to, and then the server does all the rest of that.
Yeah.
But it translates. Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's quite good. I mean, people are saying that. For example, Doctor Who's saying I play with 125 milliseconds of ping, so lag isn't going to make a difference. I sort of feel your pain. I'm on about the 100 plus, playing the NA server, and I think you've felt this, Guido, when you play the EU server. There is a perceptible difference in. I want to say reaction time.
I noticed it at 100.
Yeah,
I noticed it. I actually noticed it above 50. And
Yeah.
the more you play a game and the better you are at a game, the more you will realize, especially if it's a Twitch
Yeah.
kind of game. I'm not saying this is purely Twitch, but there's elements of Twitch in there. The
Yeah.
more you play a game, the more you will notice. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I see a lot of people go, well, I have 300. I don't even notice. Like, well, you don't play 50 or 30. So
No.
your baseline is 300. So, of course, you don't
Yeah.
notice. But when I
Yeah.
play 300, it's misery.
Oh yeah.
Like, I
It's
can't,
that-
I can't stand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I go to EU at only like 120, 130, that it's painful.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get 17 on EU and 101, 110
Yeah.
on NA, and I can feel the difference. But I've adapted my gameplay for that as much as you can do.
Well, you get used to it, right? And that's
Yeah,
your
you
yeah.
do the extra lead on a lead shot. You do, you're slightly more. I mean, I'm not that careful anyway, as you know, but you try and be slightly more careful about, because if I'm poking out, I haven't got the pullback speed because of the reaction time, that millisecond.
Yeah.
I find myself constantly being tracked if I poke, because I can't pull back before he fires. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
of that millisecond. So there is an impact. Yeah.
I think it's the perception or the bitwise. Going back to the gun thing. If I'm zoomed way out and I put the pipper right above the terrain,
Yeah.
it's fairly significantly above the terrain. You know,
Right, yes, it is,
if
yeah.
I zoom all the way in and I put the pipper right above the terrain, it is
Yeah.
right above the terrain. So more of the ground is filling up the dispersion circle than it necessarily would be, and it's not by much, but it is some.
Oh, well, it's enough to impact on the shot quite a few times, according to Wargaming's own words.
Yeah.
That you more than likely hit terrain if you're fully zoomed in. Click back 2 clicks, it says.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Noble will shoot zoomed out. All right. What else you got?
and that's my top 5. So I mean,
All right.
you know,
I got the other ones. Here we go.
here we go.
Destroying. We got that. Sisters of Steel and Brothers in Arms don't work together. That's not true. So that's been fixed.
You do now, yeah, it's fixed.
We got the knocked out crews. The enemy sees trees and other destructible things knocked over even when they can't spot you. We knew that.
Yeah.
Yep. Some bushes provide better concealment than others. Facts. There are some fairly infamous positions where this happens as well.
Yeah.
Wayne keeps saying personal reserves give you a lot.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Stop
Think
it.
Yeah,
Stop.
they do.
Stop.
It's a
Stop
fact.
it. All right. Standing trees don't really conceal, but knocked out ones do. That's not true. The leafy bits do it, right?
Yeah, they do. The trunks. If you've got the trouble is you've got gaps. That's what it means.
Well, if you're next to a trunk, it won't.
no.
But if I'm on it, if the tree's here and I'm up on a hill and I'm looking through the
Yeah,
tree,
the leaf part does, because you look
pretty
your
sure that gives
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that gives you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trunks don't, but the leaves do. Yeah, so depending on the angle
Yeah.
of the view, then potentially
Yeah.
you should be able to see it. So, good job, Wargaming. That's not true.
Pine trees do.
In
yeah.
previous updates, developers made it so that tree is knocked down can be treated like a bush, providing cover from the enemy. Standing trees don't really conceal, but knocked. I don't know what they're trying to get at right there. That's not true.
Yeah.
Spotting is calculated via certain places on your tank. That is true. There are certain places that you get spotted from and certain places you spot from. There are more places to get spotted from than there are to spot from.
Yes.
That's important. Spotting checks happen less frequently depending on the distance. That is true. Which is why I think sometimes, especially if you have, a lot of latency, slow connection, all the other various things, sometimes you get those guys that just disappear at long range. Like, well, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
It will exacerbate it a little bit. All right. And some people end up seeing people slightly faster.
Yes. Yeah. That is true.
Destroyed tanks soak up artillery. You got that. Your shots just don't go anywhere in the aiming circle. They most likely hit closer to the center than the edges. That's very true.
Yeah.
And it's been changed a little bit, but the concept of the grouping is at closer to the center It clumps towards the center, and then there's less and less that go to the outside of the dispersion circle.
There is an official website, or there is an official page on Wargaming's website that gives you all those details. It'll show you shot.
Yeah.
It'll show you an example of what the rules are. I can't remember where it is on the system, but yeah.
Right.
Wayne's making his own list up. His number 9 is clown cars suck. His number 8 is MM never makes a mistake. All games are fair and equal. Just make your own list up, Wayne. It's fine.
All right, we talked about the R key. Speed doesn't affect how fast fires are extinguished. That's pretty funny.
Neither does. Get this. Remember that replay I sent you of a Cromwell? I had a Cromwell. It was on fire. So I dived into the water. The water never put it out.
Yeah, these fires burn underwater. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like Willie Pete.
Yeah.
It just burns everywhere. We had a guy get sat down in pilot training. He was doing the EP stand up, is doing an EP for stand up. So you got to get the EP right. And if you screwed up, you don't get to fly that day. And one guy gets picked every day, and it's kind of painful.
Nice.
So you got to know your EPs. And for some reason, I don't know why, he just had a random good idea. Because he was a little bit stumped. He'd done the procedure, but the fire wasn't out. Basically, I think the IP was trying to get him to bail out. It's like, all right, you've done everything. Yeah. He goes, okay, I will. I lower the nose and start diving and go faster and try to blow it out. And the instructor's like, sit down.
Yeah, you're done for the day.
Yeah, and everyone else in the flight room is like, oh. But the worst thing about it is, if he gets sat down, somebody else gets picked.
Oh, no, I never.
So then they're like,
I'll just shrink.
Captain Guido.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, frick. So you stand up. I think the next guy's like, I eject. They're like, yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's the correct answer. The lieutenant did not come up with.
When the instructor's at the front of the class like that, you've been there as an instructor, everybody does not want to catch your eye. You know when you... they're like, they don't know you, man. Yeah. So I look for the guy who is the most trying not to be picked.
Pick him. Yeah. No, there's a skill to that. Me, mate. I didn't do that. I just looked at him like, look, if you pick me or not, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I may screw it up, but I'm going to go down swinging.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zoomed in, we talked about shooting blind. If your shot doesn't seem to hit terrain, you probably hit your mark. That's a good one. I talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Talked about that a lot. Sometimes it's hard to see. I have made the mistake thinking, especially if there's several bushes back there, you may just not see it hit the ground, but it did hit the ground. But that's a good point.
Yeah.
The other one is, if you see an artillery shell, say you got an enemy guy out there and he's kind of rocking, and then he goes dark and the artillery shell goes in and you don't see stuff blow up, it hit him directly.
Well, that's a good point. You brought that up on stream on Friday. I want to say Friday. It was when you and I were streaming, and you said about that. Artie's just fired, but I didn't see the splash.
Break. If you turn all that stuff off,
oh yeah,
you won't see it. So there's some of that as well, depending on what your settings are.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never turned it down so much that I don't see anything. I think it is possible. I think it is possible to know. Gator Bait says there's a trick using camera angle. What's the trick? I'll bite. See if he puts the trick up. Let's move on. We got shooting. When shells ricochet, they still do damage. Yes, I have been killed, and I have killed people by ricocheting a shell off, and then it hit the guy next to him.
Frustrating, though, isn't it?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I've died to it myself. I don't know. Well, you could set up like trick shots, actually. Go into a training room and try to set up trick shots into people off of Mouses or something. Right into the guy next to him. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. I wonder if you could get a double trick shot.
What, do two, you mean? Bounce, and then
what if you took two Mouses and kind of did this?
Yeah.
And then put an MS1 right there. Yeah. Something that, because it's going to lose a lot of energy. I believe it loses energy when it bounces.
Yeah.
But put something very light there and see if you could double trick shot.
We must try that. We'll have to get the clan to do that. That'll be cool. Yeah, that'd be absolutely cool, wouldn't it? We'd have to clip it.
Hold right click on a spot you're zooming.
Oh, right. Okay. Skill does it all the time, apparently.
Oh, see, Bitwise is killing me because he says it only goes so far there.
Oh,
So I can't switch over, unfortunately, otherwise it'll mess everything up here. But what was the trick? Okay, read it out for me.
hold right click on a spot you are aiming, zoom all the way out, and angle your camera to see your shell trace.
Okay. Yeah, I've done
Yeah,
that before, actually. I've done
yeah,
that. A version of that is if you are, so you're zooming in on a guy you see, and you
yeah.
take a shot,
Yeah,
and your spotter's dead, or he's probably not going to be lit by the time your second shell is ready. Right click to lock your turret there. Don't move, because if you move,
yeah,
that's going to screw it up.
yeah,
Right
yeah,
click
yeah.
to lock your turret there, and then when you reload, tap the left and fire. So you're
Yeah,
still locked into the exact same spot you were.
yeah.
That's a good trick too. And what they're saying there is you can. So what Skill's doing then
See the
is
shell trace.
he's
Yeah,
doing the same thing, but he's then also zooming out, which is going to require some little bit of dexterity going on because you're kind of doing two things at once right there.
yeah,
And then if you get an angle, you can watch the shell go, and then you can get away from worrying about whether it goes behind stuff
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
see.
yeah,
So that's a good one.
yeah.
I like that. Yep.
All right, no, that's cool. And Vincible says it works with ridge lines as well.
You bet. Hold it right above the
Yeah,
ridge line. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
That
true.
sounds
That's
good.
that's actually a good one. And what he's talking about there, for those who don't know, is if you've got a pipper on a guy on a ridgeline, and the pipper's really close to the ground, and he goes dark, it'll dip down if you're not
Yeah,
locking your turret with right click. It'll dip down and go to
yeah,
the terrain. So you want to
yeah,
right click to hold that pipper right above the terrain, so that if you want to shoot at him as a blind, hoping that maybe he pokes back up, or you figure he's probably still sitting there, you'll go straight into the top, or straight to the point. Well, you're aimed at anyway.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
your shell goes is up to the
That's
dispersion,
up
but
to everything that
up to the
goes with it,
dispersion. Yeah,
including RNG.
yeah,
She has a say.
yeah. Well,
I've
that's a
decided
different
to
subject
say,
though, because sort of dispersion isn't exactly RNG.
well, no, it's not.
Right,
No, it's not.
right. I
No.
mean, it is, but it isn't. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a different thing altogether. Says her.
It's
She
it's
says.
it's random-ish, and it's a anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Sigma, all that good stuff.
Wayne,
Let's see.
Wayne is up to number 14. When he finally grinds a tank, Wargaming nerfs it. These are wonderful, wonderful secrets about Wargaming, aren't they?
Yeah, Cliff. Yeah, I didn't want to get into it too much. You're right. It's different rules. The dispersion is not a random number generator per se, as far as the rules go of plus or minus, blah blah blah. But it is random. Okay, this is getting into a lot of. I'm going to call it random. I get it. It's not because it's programmed. Noted. But
Yeah.
and it's the clumping or the sigma or whatever it is. But that dispersion is a chance, I guess. Sigma, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That along those lines, isn't
Yeah.
it?
With
Yeah.
it more likely being, which is why actually not fully zoomed shots are more accurate than you think they are.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's just that when you take into consideration the places that the shell can be placed, then it's a larger area.
Exactly. It's a larger area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Computers can't do random. They can do it enough so as it makes no difference to a game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they can't do curves because each pixel is a square, but it looks like a curve, doesn't
So
it?
there you go.
There you are.
All right, if you can see through it, you can shoot through it. Front of a window, find. Oh, okay, I see. So basically, if you're getting a highlight, you can shoot through
Through
it.
whatever it is, you can
Yeah.
shoot it.
Some
All right.
single-story buildings are destructible, but most two-story ones won't come down. I never thought of it that way.
Oh, I didn't.
I just kind of know which ones are destructible, but they are, yeah. And they usually look chintzy,
Yeah.
like shacks.
Yeah.
If it's a shack or a
Yeah.
little one-story wooden building, a lot of times
Yeah.
you can go through, but not always. There are some indestructible one-stories that look, basically,
Pearl
if it
River
looks
is
like
prime
wood.
example. Yeah.
I think well, that's not true because there are some that look like stucco that are destructible.
Yeah.
So it's a generalization, but yes, if it's destructible, it's typically one story or a shack-looking thing.
Yeah.
Certain spots on tanks can be penetrated, but won't count as damage. True. Yeah. Yep. The front sprockets of a Churchill.
Yeah. Yeah.
You won't be able to damage at the very edge, but you will be able to break the sprocket and the
Big
tracks.
sprocket. Yeah, but you can't. There's no hitbox behind it, is there?
Yep. You can set your crosshair to show a shot's armor penetration chance. That's in the settings, and it's a color-coded thing. So green meaning a good chance, yellow meaning, I don't know if it's 50-50 or what the percentage is, and red meaning not so much. HE shells are great for blowing up soft-skinned artillery and resetting the cap. That's changed a little. They still kind of are, but of course the HE changes. Done a lot to it. Cool.
There you go, 20 secrets, and all of Wayne's. He's still on number 17 at the moment.
Nice.
Dear. Brilliant.
I'm going to go back to here so I can watch the... Oops, actually, yeah, okay, there we go. All right, man. Did you say you had a contest?
I've got a contest. I've just as a complete random, because it came up in conversation with the House General this morning, and it's got nothing to do with tanks. We were discussing. We were having breakfast, and I was having bacon, eggs, sunny side up, and black pudding, and good lady was having a bacon toasty, and I was looking out of the window, and I was thinking about the climate change conference that's been going on, COP26, and the various serious problems that the planet is facing right now, according to a lot of people. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying according to people. And I said I had this epiphany. I was looking out of the window, and I said to my House General, "Do you know what? I could actually go veggie. I could go veggie with the exception of bacon. I don't mind going veggie, but as long as I can still have bacon." So there should be a group of vegetarians who are allowed to eat bacon, and I'd join them. I'd be quite happy to do that. I don't mind a veggie curry or a veggie stew or something like that, but I've got to have bacon. So I was just thinking, what is everybody's feelings about that?
So
really?
what is this purity test that we have for everything these days?
I don't
know. I'm a vegetarian, therefore I never eat meat. And if I eat meat, I have completely failed in my life and my vegetarianism.
Don't get it.
It's like, if you want to be a vegetarian that eats bacon, frickin' do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, okay, it's healthy. Got it, man.
Yeah.
What is the weird purity test thing? This orthodoxy of my ideas. I must be absolutely pure in my orthodoxy, else my ideas don't count. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
You
know what I mean? How about I'm a vegetarian, except I eat steaks. I don't eat other meat. I just love eating that stupid cow because they're dumb. And I just want to kill all cows. You know, but that's like the counter to what it is, right? If you say something like, well, are you vegetarian? Well, I generally eat I am mostly vegetarian, but I actually like a steak every once in a while. You are the devil. You're not a vegetarian.
No, I know. It gets even worse when you start to pigeonhole it as vegan, who don't even have dairy products, so they won't drink milk because it comes from an animal. Get out, behave. Anyway,
no, I don't care. I actually don't. That fine, right? Fine.
Do what you want.
But what the purity test and the orthodoxy part is what is out of control these days. Yeah.
Generally, people are saying, I can't live without bacon. No, I don't think the human. I don't think the human can live without bacon. Anybody who can live without bacon is
but you have that weird British bacon stuff going on.
I don't know what's weird British.
It's like floppy and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be, isn't it?
No, it's got to be crispy and thin and just full of salt and preservatives.
Oh, okay.
Like American bacon.
What's American bacon like that? Are your pigs different to our pigs?
Extremely thin, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you want like crisps? You mean like French fries? Crisps?
Yeah. Here, hold on. Here we go. Here's an image of it. Let's see. That'll work.
Let me have a look at your bacon.
All right, let's go over. American bacon right here, baby. See that?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we have potato chips like that.
Yeah.
Well, we call them crisps, but they're called frazzles because they are actually just frazzled pieces of meat, aren't they? They're not proper bacon. All
right, now here's British bacon. Let's see.
Hey, look, that's proper down there, the bottom bit next to the pig. That's proper bacon.
This right here?
Shit, look, it's got the pig. No,
Oh, right here, this one.
American bacon,
That
real bacon.
yeah, that's
Thank you.
it. There, that's the British
There you
the
go.
floppy bit.
The one.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Lashings of sauce on it.
Also,
Yeah,
can you quit calling ham gammon?
Why? Because it is
Because
gammon.
that's not gammon. I don't even know what that means. What is gammon anyway? Is that
Gammon. It's a pig. It's a. Look,
when you drive by it, there you're like, oh, look at that lovely gammon out there.
Yeah, because because some are called Daisy, some are called Fred, and others are called Gammon. It's the name of the pig you're eating. Do you not sympathise or empathise with the animal you're eating? Do you not say that was Joe or Fred?
So
or...
gammon is actually cured ham version of pork, right?
Yeah.
It's not a pork chop, or you wouldn't call a pork chop gammon.
It's
It's the salted, cured, what we would
It
call
is.
a ham. What we call ham.
Oh, I call ham something different. Ham is a totally different thing.
Really? What's ham?
Well, it's luncheon meat. It's sliced stuff that you put on a butty.
But that's that's the same stuff. It's just cut
Yeah,
different.
but it's pink. It's not cured. It's just pink. And
Of course, it's cured. The ham we get's cured,
Google
salted
British
and
ham.
cured.
Google British
gosh.
ham. You'll see the difference. There you go. Wayne's got it. Peter Gammon. There you are. That's the Spanish about ham. Yeah. See, I can't get my head around that. All right. City ham versus country ham. Pea meal bacon. You see, everybody loves.
See here, look, hold on.
Rashers of bacon, Randall. Yes.
So right here, this one right here is sliced. What we would call sliced ham. You say smoked ham and Scotch broth, okay? And
Yes.
then is that a gammon right there? This big chunk of it?
Yeah. See the right.
It's the same thing. One's just sliced small, thinly.
You can say that, but if you go to where,
You can say that. I can say that because it's true.
well, no, I mean a ham has got a bone on it. So there you go. It's got a bone on it. A ham's got a bone on it. That's the difference. A gammon is without a bone.
That's only. Oh my god! That's because the bone's been taken out of it.
Yeah, but
It's not like that. It's not like that big round piece of meat was hanging out somewhere on a ham. Like where the hell did that come from? There's no bone in there.
A carbuncle on the pig's bottom.
It's just a. Just,
oh,
it's
look
just
at that ham hanging off his arse.
perfect.
Look at it.
Yeah, it's perfectly round piece of ham hanging off of it somewhere.
Yeah, quick, chop that off and boil it. We can have it. The ham.
All right.
Oh,
Talk about tangents, man. We have definitely.
Yeah, we are.
definitely-
Anyway, it was just a question that me and the House General were pondering this morning.
Yeah.
How can you be vegetarian and still eat bacon? But so we've just given up on the whole thing and we've gone back to having steak for dinner tonight.
I say you can.
I think you can.
I think you can. I think you can.
I'll still
And
think
who
milk
cares? Who cares what
Yeah,
the
exactly.
militant veggie people think? All right, guys. Well, that's been 2 hours, man. That's been a lot of fun today,
Cool.
actually.
Do you want the competition?
Oh, I forgot about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Very quickly before you say goodbye.
I didn't realize. Talk to me, Goose is here. What's happening, Goose?
Yes.
All right,
is
go
in.
ahead with your competition.
Very quickly then. Friday was the 5th of November over here. Probably the same for you as well. But Friday was the 5th of November. The 5th of November is quite a poignant date in the British history, especially the British Parliament. In that, a guy called Guy Fawkes,
That was a guy.
decided to take a load of gunpowder, stick it underneath the House of Parliament in an attempt to blow up all the politicians and the Prime Minister, and in doing so, have our own revolution. It never quite came off. So I have 3-part question about Guy Fawkes.
So did it? It just didn't explode?
No, he got caught.
Oh, okay.
He got caught because he was the only one smoking in the cellar where all the gunpowder was. They said, "Why are you smoking?" He said, "Well, I'm going to light the gunpowder."
So he wasn't the brightest bulb.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So, why do you have your pipe going, Guy? Okay. Like that. Anyway, so I've got a 3-part question about Guy Fawkes.
Was he Scottish? What was his?
No, he was actually the government of the day were predominantly Protestant,
Yeah.
and he was a member of I'm not going to give this away, but he was a member of a Catholic.
Okay, got it. It's part of the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
go for it.
So, the 3-part question: for 500 gold. And in fact, Wayne is very close to it, but he hasn't got it right. Anyway, here we go. Right. Who was the leader of this group of desperate men that decided to blow up the Parliament? Who was the name? What was the name of the leader of the group? It was a Catholic group of people who got together, or a group of people who were Catholics who got together that wanted to get rid of the Protestant Prime Minister and government. Okay, who was the leader? What was his name? Second part of the question: what was Guy Fawkes' nom de guerre when he got caught? Nom de guerre, his false name, if you like, nom de guerre, when he got caught. What was the name he used when he first got caught and interrogated?
Gary.
And then the third part is how was he killed by the government forces? How was he killed? What actually happened to him? And what was the date that he got killed? For want of a better word, put to death. There you go. What was the date he was put to death?
Oh my God, that's hilarious, dude. I see the tie-in now.
There you go.
Yeah.
500 gold.
Is that the name he gave as well?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Brilliant, isn't it? And it just no. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, if you don't want to do it on stream, fire me one in on a whisper so we can.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a Guy Fawkes night where I was in Northern Watch in Turkey, and I don't know, 90. Must have been 98, I guess. We're flying over the no-fly zone in northern Iraq when that was still going. And the Brits, we had the Brits there. They were flying the Jaguar, so they were doing all the recce. They'd fly at 5 feet in that thing and take pictures.
Yeah, no, they definitely used to fly quite low, didn't they?
Yep, they fly at 5 feet, take pictures of all the SAM sites and AAA and stuff, just to keep track of what everything was going on. And so that it was over. It was in November actually. I think we came home right before Christmas, but we were there for Thanksgiving, and then obviously early November they had Guy Fawkes night. So they I guess the tradition, one of the traditions is they took a flight suit, but they stuffed it full of hay, and then you burn an effigy. Yeah. You burn Guy Fawkes in effigy, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So it used to have a thing called Penny for the Guy. So the kids, I mean, this was years ago before the thing called the internet and computers came around. But the kids would make a Guy Fawkes and trundle it around in an old pram, knock on your door, and you would look at it and go, "That's brilliant. Here's a penny." And so it's just kids making money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the best Guy Fawkes got the most money, I guess. Yeah. They sort of formalised it now. They have formal competitions, and you go down. Yeah. It's BS. You know what I mean? It was a kids thing. I mean, and then on the bonfire, you used to throw the Guy Fawkes onto the bonfire. However, that wasn't how he died.
Yeah, they had a Brit. The Brit Intel guy's name was Crispin. Of course, it was.
There you go. RKL's got it.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Robert Catesby was the leader of the gang. John Johnson was his false name, and he was hung, drawn, and quartered backwards.
Yeah, but did you see what his name also was known as while fighting the Spanish? Did you see that?
No, I didn't look at. Oh, yeah, that was
Guido Fawkes.
I remember that. Yeah,
Guido Fawkes.
That's where the tie-in. Yeah, that's where the tie-in. Yeah, brilliant.
That's funny.
Sorry, Wayne, but RKL got in there.
All right, RKL, send a whisper to Pilgrim and give your in-game name so he can get it to the right person.
Cool.
Get it to the right person. Yeah, Crispin was the guy's name, and it was a Friday night, so we were having a roll call, and we had a couple cocktails, and we had to drink that I've talked about in the past, but it's called Jeremiah Weed, and it's just a nasty Southern style whiskey. But he rolls up, and you just take a little shot of it or whatever. It's not for really drinking; it's more of a punishment kind of thing. And he's like, "What's that?" And it's Jeremiah Weed. Someone told him a little bit about it. They're like, "Oh, it's really strong." He's like, "Give me that!" So he grabs a bottle, tips the bottle up, and downs the rest of it. There's probably 2/3 of it left. There's a fifth.
Wow.
And we're all watching him going, that is not going to go well at all. Because he was already pretty happy. Guy Fawkes was burning already, and everyone was, having a good time. So he downs it, and he chucks the bottle into the fire and walks away. And we're all watching it. So a couple of us go over to the guy dudes in charge. I'm like, hey, just so you're aware, your boy over there just down 2/3 of a fifth of whiskey. It didn't take long. It was about an hour later, and he was absolutely destroyed.
That is terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That is terrible.
And in the morning, he's like, "What was that?" Oh man! All right, cool.
Do you know when you have that? Excuse me.
Go ahead.
When you have that, just very quickly before we wind it up about alcohol. When I used to drink back in the day, I went to Belize, as you know. I was in Central America for a little bit, and they had this thing called Green Stripe rum, which is distilled airline fuel.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure it is.
Oh yeah.
And I spent a night on the tiles drinking that stuff, and I was physically paralysed the next morning. I could not get off my bed. Nothing would move. My legs wouldn't work. My eyelids wouldn't work. Nothing. My lips, permanently like that, lying on the bed. Anyway, if you want
Did you continually hear the Windows reset?
Yeah, yeah.
Doing, doing.
This is made by monks.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's quite a nice drink if you ever get round to it. But you're doing the monks a favour if you buy them. Monks are great at doing alcohol, aren't they?
They love it. Oh yeah, they make beer. They make everything. That's great.
You gotta have some sympathy with them. They're locked up in cloisters with another load of smelly old men in brown overcoats. You're gonna turn to alcohol, aren't you?
Turn to something, I imagine. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man.
Yeah.
That's all I've got from the left side of the Atlantic. Guido signing off.
And it's Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic.
See you guys. As soon as I figure out how to do it.